Father spent 3 years restoring this car. It is his love, it is his passion.
It is his fault he didn't lock the garage.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and inspired by our upcoming board game Terrible Influence, we're looking at the movie characters who get away with glorifying questionable morality, even if some may be funny or likable.
I'm always on your left.
And right now you're getting on my last nerve. Switch.
If you love games, be sure to check out WatchMojo's new game, Terrible Influence, just launched for purchase at terribleinfluence.com. Terrible Influence is a satirical board game about the dark side of fame from the writer of The Most Popular Girls in School and us, WatchMojo.
Boom. I can make an apology video.
Oh, you so would.
Click on the link in the description to check out the game and be the first to play Terrible Influence. Number 10. Tyler Durden, Fight Club. Bold, charismatic, and fearless, Tyler Durden embodies the ultimate male power fantasy, if you ignore the part where he inspires a violently over-the-top movement. Taking charge of Project Mayhem, Tyler corrupts his impressionable followers into obedience and self-erasure.
If this is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight.
The fact that he doesn't truly exist shows just how far the narrator's own psyche fractures into this fantasy. While his tales of grandeur and anti-authority rhetoric might sound revolutionary, destroying society entirely is far from a real solution.
I say stop being perfect. I say let's evolve. Let the chips fall where they may.
Considering he literally becomes a cult leader, it's easy to imagine Tyler pulling a cult-like fanbase card from Terrible Influence somewhere along the way. How else could someone pull off repeating the same rule twice and still have everyone falling in line?
Stop trying to control everything and just let go. Let go!
All right, fine.
Number 9. Grandpa Joe, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Ah yes, the sweet grandpa with an agenda. On the surface, he's Charlie's biggest supporter, offering trust and support on his magical day at Wonka's factory. Look closer, and you'll see the snake behind the smile. After years of making his daughter toil to provide for the family, Grandpa Joe conveniently overcomes his ailments the moment something free and exciting comes along.
I never dreamed that I would climb over the moon in ecstasy.
Inside the factory, he pressures his adolescent grandson to lie, steal, and break the rules.
Let's take a drink, Charlie. Nobody's watching. Yeah. A small one won't hurt us. Whoops.
Not only does he expect handouts, but he even claims the moral high ground when confronted with his own actions.
You're a crook. You're a cheat and a swindler.
And when Charlie proves himself worthy, what is his first instinct? Instantly asking what he gets out of it, as always.
So the factory's yours, Charlie. You can move in immediately.
And me?
Absolutely.
Number 8. Sandy Olsson, Grease. Boy meets girl, girl meets his fellow greasers, girl becomes a greaser herself. Wait, that doesn't sound right, does it? But that is how Grease wants us to think.
Sandy?
Tell me about it, stud.
Starting as her own person with clear values, Sandy ultimately abandons all of her beliefs for the shallow social hierarchy around her. Who cares if it's toxic and unsustainable? At least she gets to ride off in a flying car. And while she transforms herself completely for Danny, all he does is put on a white cardigan that he ditches almost immediately. In the end, Sandy's radical makeover isn't as much empowerment as it is caving in for status and approval. Number 7. Evan Hansen, Dear Evan Hansen. People do all sorts of things to try to fit in, but not many benefit from a classmate's tragic passing while actively leaving out the truth. While we can understand the initial confusion, Evan stacks up lie after lie just for attention.
Look, only his family has seen this, okay? You can't show it to anybody else, okay?
Halfway through the film, you'd think this is less about peer pressure and more a grand plan to solidify his newfound status. Along with cashing in on sympathy for all it's worth, Evan happily convinces himself to be the misunderstood hero of the story.
It was an assignment from my therapist to write a letter to yourself. A pep talk.
If we're talking terrible influence, he's the perfect example of pulling the victim card, gaining social protection and moral cover to avoid accountability.
I was never friends with Connor Murphy. I lied. Repeatedly.
Number 6. Steve Stifler, American Pie. If you've got a Stifler in your group of friends, we have just one word of advice. Run. Loud, needlessly self-confident, and completely annoying, Stifler constantly eggs his friends into giving into their worst impulses.
You actually said that?
Shut up.
With no real goal or plan, he normalizes selfishness and crossing boundaries just for the fun of it. No matter how ill-advised or humiliating it might be, Stifler gladly throws his friends into a whole new round of chaotic sexual escapades.
Now, all you gotta do is set up some sort of private link or whatever on the net and tell me the address.
While his early antics remain his most notorious, he only gets worse as the series continues. Finch's dalliance with Stifler's mom is the closest he ever comes to humiliation, but even that barely qualifies as proper comeuppance.
Mom? Shipwreck?
Oh, hey, Stifler.
Number 5. Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, the Deadpool trilogy. Everyone finds the merc with a mouth as endearing as he is funny. Self-aware, sarcastic, and with a cheeky edge, he's the coolest person to hang out with.
Tight. And never let go. Don't make the same mistakes I did.
That is, if you overlook how he treats murder and mayhem as punchlines, framing all of his misadventures as clever, justified fun. His jokes might be hilarious, but they're also accompanied by a fresh round of violence that he shrugs off with a fourth wall break. From excusing brutality to minimizing other people's trauma, Wade avoids confronting his own issues by mocking everyone else.
Ripley from Alien 3.
So, when Wolverine finally cuts him down to size with a savage verbal beatdown, it's a reality check that was a long time coming.
I mean, you are a ridiculous, immature, half-wit moron.
Number 4. Captain Jack Sparrow, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Who doesn't love this rum-soaked, finger-twirling pirate with a heart of gold? Johnny Depp's iconic character won over audiences the moment he appeared, quickly becoming the face of the franchise.
If you spring me from this cell, I swear on pain of death, I shall take you to the Black Pearl and your bonny lass.
However, Jack is the last person you would want in a real crisis. He isn't above selling out his own allies or using his friends as pawns in his elaborate cons.
Where's Elizabeth?
She's safe, just like I promised. She's all set to marry Norrington just like she promised, and you get to die for her just like you promised. So we're all men of our word, really. Except for Elizabeth, who is in fact a woman.
Lying, cheating, and stealing are not necessary evils. They're part of his lifestyle. Jack's influence pulled the likes of Will and Elizabeth into his world, costing them decades of their lives, tearing their families apart in the process. He makes the life of a pirate look cool, but we aren't too keen on hopping aboard the Black Pearl anytime soon.
What be our heading, Captain? We shall follow the stars.
Number 3. Daniel Hillard, Mrs. Doubtfire. Although we can acknowledge that Daniel is a good father, love doesn't pay the bills. You also need to be responsible and provide for your kids. Instead of stepping up, Daniel dumps everything on his wife, spending her money without a second thought, then portrays her as the bad guy.
Lighten up, will you? Just realize you're spending too much time with those corporate clones you used to despise.
I spend too much time with you, Daniel. It's over!
Even after clear, lenient instructions by the court, he ignores them entirely, committing identity fraud just to insert himself back into her life. Worse still, he then tries to manipulate her emotions and sabotage her new relationship.
Can't you see the lust in that man's eyes? It's too soon, dear, really.
While the film frames Daniel as a free spirit in a cynical world, that message gets lost in translation when he decides to disguise himself as an elderly housekeeper instead of, getting a job.
Daddy?
Yeah, honey. It's me.
Number 2. Regina George, Mean Girls. Is she iconic in her own way? Absolutely. But is she the aspirational queen bee that fan culture now treats her as? Not even close. While Regina is clearly the film's designated villain, she's been retroactively romanticized into a bold, self-aware, and even empowering character.
But let me just tell you something about Aaron. All he cares about is school and his mom and his friends.
Is that bad?
But if you like him, whatever, I could talk to him for you if you want.
But in reality, she's immature, controlling, and deeply elitist, using people around her as pawns and sources of amusement. Tormenting people at school, her friends, and even her own parents, she thrives by framing her attitude as survival.
I'm a cool mom. Right, Regina?
Please stop talking.
Okay.
So, if you're looking for your own Regina George experience in Terrible Influence, pull out the Always in the Spotlight card and watch as the world becomes your personal stage.
Don't worry, we're gonna find out who did it.
There's only 3 girls in the whole school who aren't in it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Effortlessly charming and endlessly confident, Ferris feels like our youthful dreams come true. Never taking life seriously, he's the guy everyone would love to be friends with. But that fantasy works a lot better on the screen than beyond it.
I feel like complete Ferris. I can't go anywhere.
I'm sorry to hear that. Now come on over here and pick me up.
After all, this is the person who drags his friend with him while he's clearly dealing with an existential crisis, then keeps pushing further, stealing his dad's prized car, manipulating him into taking reckless risks, and ignoring all of Cameron's concerns.
We're not leaving the car here.
Why not?
Because we're not. I want the car back home where it belongs, right now. Come on, let's go.
Along the way, he paints his sister as the problem child and turns Rooney into a villain just for doing his job. If you want the Ferris Bueller experience in Terrible Influence, the all-around bad influence card more than does the job.
This may very well be for real. I think Cameron might have blown a microchip or two.
If you love games, be sure to check out WatchMojo's new game Terrible Influence, just launched for purchase at terribleinfluence.com. Terrible Influence is a satirical board game about the dark side of fame from the writer of the most popular girls in school and us, WatchMojo. Click on the link in the description to check out the game and be the first to play it.